Hello and welcome to the Liz Experiment YouTube channel. I'm Liz, better known as the Liz in the Liz Experiment, and this is the channel where I record field notes from my journey towards architecting my best life. I'm recording today from Las Cruces, New Mexico, and to all of you who are also in the United States, and to all of you really, happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful to each and every one of you for watching. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about, I guess I'm going to discuss some feelings I've been having about self-worth. I'm going to talk about meeting new people and different ways I've thought about doing that. And I guess above all else, I talk about gratitude. So with that, let's jump right in.
Life's a foolish game. Do you ever feel the same? Well, maybe we could change. Turn the ship another way.
So, it's only been about 4 days since I last posted about living that conflicted life, since I'm back in the United States after spending a month in Mexico, and I guess this is probably the first time I've been somewhat settled without having a pet to take care of for a little while. So even though it's only been a short period of time since that video, I've still learned things, and I've still worked on things. And so the first thing that I learned in that time frame was, and this is actually the biggest topic that I wanted to talk about today, is that I'm still grappling with my own feelings of self-worth, and feelings of what I deserve in life. So that's a big topic. We're going to jump into that. The other thing two other things that I learned this week were, one, I can and will meet people along the road. So I get a lot of questions about loneliness and spending time alone, and all of those are real things that I feel and that are happening. But in reality, there are a lot of ways to meet people. And if I put forth the right effort, and I get really good about saying who are the types of people I want to meet, I can do that. And I played around with that a little bit in the last few days. So I'll tell you guys about that in a second. And then the last thing that I remembered or practiced this week was gratitude. But what's funny about that, and again, I'll talk more about this, but it's that for me, being on this journey, and spending so much time alone, and thinking about my own life and all those sorts of things, it's like I'm so grateful. I'm much more grateful in the present moment than I used to be, because I'm practicing gratitude, because I'm living an amazing life, and I every time I think about that, I feel grateful. So it's Thanksgiving here in the United States, as I mentioned in the intro, but it doesn't feel like an entirely different day to me. One, probably because my business partner and I just had a business meeting, but we did that because it kind of just feels like any other day, not because it just was the right time. Anyway, my point of that was I'm practicing gratitude without it being Thanksgiving, but also on Thanksgiving. Okay, so what did I work on in regards to all these things this week? So the first thing I mentioned was that I'm still grappling with these feelings of self-worth and lack thereof, of not feeling like I don't deserve things. And how this came about, I mentioned in the previous video, and I'll provide a link to that down below, so be sure to check that out. But I came back from Mexico last Tuesday, so about 9 days ago. And I landed in Albuquerque. I met with my friends, and then drove down here to Las Cruces, where I had a mini retreat with 4 other friends and businesswomen. And throughout that time, and then after they left on Saturday, so whatever, 5 days ago or something, I have been having these weird feelings. I've been feeling really apprehensive. I've been feeling really paranoid is a strong term, but I've been feeling like something bad is going to happen. That, I don't know, it's just like I have these kinds of paranoid sort of feelings, and anxious, a lot of anxiety. And so, as you heard in that last video, I recognize I'm having these feelings, and I've had this hard time of readjusting to life here in the United States. And so I talked with some of my friends, the ones who I went on the mini retreat with this week, and that was really helpful, because I talked to them about these feelings, and throughout our discussion, I recognized that what I really was feeling was like I'm in this beautiful place. I am in my friend's home that she's allowing me to stay in, and I'm driving this nice car, and I, I don't feel like I deserve these things. And so this feeling apprehension and paranoia is kind of like, wow, there's so many good things happen to me that something bad has to happen to balance it out. So what I've been working on, well, first, tell me you haven't felt that before. Seriously? I mean, come on. We all, I think, have these feelings, especially in some place, especially if you have the privilege that I have been so very blessed with, that I've grown up in the homes and the place I've been. And I feel very lucky for that. And I feel like I've talked to a lot of people, especially here in the United States, who have those types of feelings. And so as I work through them, and I work through a lot of my anxieties, some of the advice that my friends gave me and that I also just thought through myself is really thinking about, okay, what's real and what's not. This is one of my dear friends shared, just take a moment when you're feeling these anxious thoughts or these feelings like you don't deserve something or whatever that is, and ask yourself what you're making up in your mind and what is actually real. So I've been doing a lot of work on that in the past few days. Another friend mentioned, well, I should say it's all kind of one big conversation, but thinking about and noticing those negative self thoughts and correcting them. And that's not necessarily about lying, trying to beef yourself up and tell yourself how great you are, but more switching that negative thought into a positive one, or into a neutral one that's rooted in reality. And then the last thing I've been doing to combat, or at least work through these feelings, I don't want to say combat, because these feelings are part of me, and I'm not fighting them. I have to embrace them and then work with them. And in order to do that, I've been so very kind to myself. I've been going inward. I've been upholding calm. I've been looking for calm in my life, really slowing down and realizing I've been through a hell of a lot the past year, and all good things, all things I'm very, very grateful for, but it's a lot. And I'm allowed to take time to reflect and enjoy and be calm. So that's been a big, big, big one this week. The second thing that I was working on this week, so I've talked in past videos and blog posts, and I'll provide some links again down below in the description area. But I've talked a lot about loneliness. And of course, being on the road, loneliness is real. It's something that I feel all the time. And in the beginning, I purposely went into isolation mode because I knew I needed to really do a lot of work on myself. And I think we all need to do a lot of work on ourselves. And I think work on ourselves happens all the time. But after that intense time period of isolation, I'm recognizing my need to build community and be more social. And I'm pretty social, even though it's a lot of it's online because I'm a remote worker. But I've also realized I need to start meeting people in real life. So, on top of all that, I've done all this work on myself, and I want to meet people in real life to use the work on myself with other people. So, some of the things that I've done recently, which I think are super fun, and I never would have done these things before because they seemed, I don't know, kind of weird or taboo. I've signed up for a few online, just kind of social sites and some dating apps and free things that I could just kind of go out there and talk to people and see if I can attract to me the types of people that I want in my life, and practice just meeting people in real life and talking with them. So it's super exciting. I always hesitate with the dating site thing because everybody's like, oh, you're gonna meet the one. And I mean, come on, you've seen the video about the romances and everything. You know me by now. It's less about meeting somebody like that, which would be cool. I'm totally open to that. Totally open to that for sure. But it's more about practicing saying, I don't need to talk to this person. Or I want to talk to this person. Or I don't think there's actually anything happening with this person, but you know what? Let me practice talking with them so that I can get better and maybe they can get better. So I'm pretty excited about all of that, taking my time with it, being super kind with it, and I will be sure to report back on any funny stories or I guess any learnings and things I'm working on. And finally, in honor of Thanksgiving, and when I say Thanksgiving, I don't necessarily mean the Puritan approach to the holiday, but more the point or the principle, the concept of putting gratitude first. I just really have been working on, as I said, I've been doing this a lot in real time, but especially this week as Thanksgiving, the holiday, the official holiday approaches, just recognizing how lucky and grateful I am, and how grateful I am whether or not I'm lucky. So I've traveled for an entire year. I have traveled safely for an entire year around the world. I have a support system along the way. You, other viewers, people who read my blog, but my close friends, the different groups I'm a part of. I have such an amazing life that I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful for. You know, I woke up this morning and I had all of these messages from people around the world wishing me a happy Thanksgiving and telling me how grateful they were to have me in their life. And we say happy Thanksgiving and we say I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful for that, but to really sit with that and to feel it very deeply, the only way I can describe it is just to be we feel full when we do that. And so that's something I've been working on today and all year round is honoring that gratitude, being humbled by it, and allowing myself to just feel full. So that's it for this week. I'm gonna go have some of my homemade Thanksgiving meal. I'm having Thanksgiving alone this year, which I'm totally excited about because I've been traveling a lot, and this means I get to eat everything by myself. No, I'm excited to have the downtime and the time to just kind of sit and reflect and hang out. Don't feel sorry for me. I always tell this to people. I am not at all sad to be alone on Thanksgiving. I have tons of support every other day. Even today, I have tons of support. I'm doing great. I hope wherever you are on this day that it's a wonderful one, that you're taking some time for gratitude. Next week, I will be back here in Las Cruces again. Woohoo! I want to thank Hans Adam and Featuring Snowflake for the music that I used in the intro and outro. If you like this video, please, please, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to receive these videos every week, please hit the subscribe button. It always helps me to feel like someone else is grateful for me, if you know what I'm saying. And please comment if anything I said today resonated, or if you have any additional thoughts. I'm more than grateful if you don't do any of these things, but if you do have something to share, I would love to hear it. So until next week, thanks for watching.